back to my channel. Tonight we're going to be doing a talk-through style tutorial instead of my usual just zoom in, do the eyeshadow, you know, get in, get done, get out. What's that? We're going to do something a little different. Just because I'm not tired per se of my normal filming and my normal tutorials, but at the same time I feel like something, I need to do something different. I just need to film differently. I need to do it differently and just let it happen that way. Let's start by priming my eyes. I don't know about like my foundation and stuff because I don't know how long it's going to take me to explain what I'm doing. I'm going to prime my eyes first with my concealer that I always prime my eyes with. I have been thinking about trying a different eye primer. I see Lisa Eldridge talk about the balms put a lid on it, and she's like, this is great, it's moisturizing for people with dry eyes, because like my eyelids aren't necessarily dry, but they're not oily, like they're pretty much just normal, and I use concealer to cover up my veins in my eyes more than anything, because I don't really, like, eyeshadow has no problem sticking to my eye in general. They're basically just eyeshadow magnets in my eyelids, so you know, they're not oily or anything, which I'm grateful for, but at the same time, I would like something like more moisturizing. Let me know what you think. Yeah, I'm just gonna use like a pressed powder. I usually just use this like Hourglass Diffused Light to set. Or, you know, if I have some obviously left over on my brush, I'll just use what's left over on my brush. I'm gonna do sort of a Christmassy look today. I'm gonna start with this yellow shade in the NYX Grind Palette right here. Of course, people are gonna say, that palette's not dead, that palette's not old, what are you doing? And if you hear a perfect kid talking in the background and you're like, what is that perfect kid sound I hear? That would be mine, because she's playing in the other room with her dad. Okay. Anyway, a lot of people are gonna say that the Grind Palette is not technically dead because it was released sort of recently, but then others might argue that this palette was just DOA because it didn't really ever get the appreciation it deserved. I don't think it ever really got a lot of recognition. They didn't tease it, they didn't hype it up, and hype goes a long way when it comes to makeup releases. So why they didn't take the time to like hype this release up, I don't understand, but yeah, I don't know. I just think this palette like immediately went on sale along with all of the other palettes in the collection, the Machinist collection. And that is why, in my opinion, I'm including this in my Palette Resurrection series, because I think maybe a couple of YouTubers talked about it, like bigger ones, but very briefly, and they never really did any tutorials with it. They were just like, ooh, pretty, favorites, yes. And if you can tell, I'm just putting this yellow right in my eye socket and just kind of making an arch from the corner of this eye, from the corner of my outer part of my eye to the corner of the inner part of my eye, like a glow. Now I'm gonna go into this shade right here, this like rusty brown shade. Yeah, that's rusty brown. There we go. I'm just gonna put that on the outer part of my eye here. Just gonna keep it right there. I don't want to do anything too crazy. I want this to be t-shirt makeup, and when I say t-shirt makeup, I mean makeup I can wear with a t-shirt. I mean, obviously, but what I really mean by that is I want to wear a t-shirt with my makeup. I want to be able to. It needs to look fun, but also, what I'm trying to say is, I think I'm more comfortable wearing dramatic makeup with a t-shirt when I don't wing out my eyeshadow. Now, that means I can pretty much use any colors I want to within the bounds of my imagination, but I have to keep it isolated to my eye socket. That's just my rationale. I'm gonna make sure I keep that on my lid, not go past my bone here. Like, feel around for your bones. like right here, and just be like, look, all right, the bone ends there, so that's where my eye socket ends. I like to keep my eyeshadow in my eye socket, and because my bone ends really close to the outer corner of my eye, I have to be really creative and careful when I decide what shape I'm going to do with my eyes. But me doing like a circle shape, like a round shape, is like a pretty foolproof way of doing my eyeshadow, and I've done that quite a bit lately. Not that I don't like doing the wing. I think the wing helps balance out the sides of my face. I know that sounds crazy, but everybody has their good side and their bad side according to them, even though you would literally never notice it on anybody else, or at least I wouldn't. But I feel like a lot of people have a preference on like which side of their face they like to take selfies with, for instance. And my right side of my face looks different than this side, because that's just how faces are. But when I wing this look up, it matches this side. I don't know, they seem to like look more similar when I wing. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I don't care. I still like doing circular eyeshadow shapes, especially when I'm wearing a t-shirt or a hoodie. Now when I get red and gold, I start to get a little, this starts to get a little sports teamish to me. So that's when I have to take a step back and be like, how am I gonna save this? How is this gonna go from 49ers to something that's not football related? I don't even watch football. I'm gonna take this green shade right here, the metallic-y one. Gonna wet my brush with a setting spray. I'm using this little Peter Thomas Roth one. Or no, just kidding. This is Mario Badescu. Why do I get those two brands mixed up? Why? I don't understand. They're so dramatically different. And I'm going to put this right inside the red. Just kind of right here on the center of my lid. And now it's Christmas. I'm gonna wet my brush a little more, make sure I've got that crease right here. Like it looks like a scarf that maybe like a frat bro would wear to their fraternity's Christmas party. I don't know. That's exactly what this eyeshadow's reminding me of though, so we can save it. Okay, now I'm going to, once again, I'm gonna clean my brush off and wet it, and I'm gonna go into this coppery red shade. Wetting brush. Going and putting this. Now I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'm gonna go about blending the shades together just barely. Like I don't want them to all meld into one, but at the same time I want there to be kind of a seamless transition between each shade. And that is what we call Christmas in your eyes. Now that is one unique title if I've ever heard one. So I'm just taking this same brush and doing the blending between shades here. I'm just gonna go kind of taking it like up and down, like straight up and down like this. I'm just going, you gotta use the sound effects though. That's part of the look. Everybody knows that onomatopoeia is part of every great eye look since the beginning of time. I'm gonna resist the urge to like perfect this to the point of over blending, because I still want that like Christmassy-ish look. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it like this. It does still look a bit like a scarf that a white person would wear to a Christmas parade. But I am gonna go back into the yellow real quick, put a little bit more of that in my old socketeer. Socketeer. Sounds like a real word. So I'm gonna do like a speed through of my foundation. I've decided I'm gonna do my foundation on camera and just do a speed through in case anybody's curious how to put foundation and powder and stuff on your face. In case you've never seen anything like that before, then this is the tutorial for you. So now that the rest of that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up what is on my eyes. I feel like I have an opportunity here to course correct the Frat Daddy scarf eyelids I have right now. And we're gonna go into, I'm gonna take, let's do, okay, I have an idea. So I'm gonna take this shade right here, but I'm going to use it on a fluffy brush because it's easier to blend like that. And then I can go back over it and do like a technique where I kind of lay down this little, you know, haze of the shimmer first before I then go in and intensify it a little bit. So I'm basically gonna take this on my lower lid and it'll just give like a really cool red-ish haze at first, but this is essentially gonna be my transition shade for my lower lid. Take this little pencil brush this time. Wet it. And I'm gonna go right back into that same shade. But I'm gonna put it close to my lash line. I'm trying to my best to get up under my eyelashes so that I can get that to stick to my skin and my eyelashes don't get in the way. A little bit of that right here on my inner corner. I'm gonna let that dry before I go back and blend it over like once more. But real quick, I am gonna do an inner corner highlight. I'm gonna use this, and of course I'm gonna wet my brush. I can't help it. I'm not loving how that looks, so I'm gonna go into this one and go over top of it and then see what happens. Oh yeah, I like that better. Seems to fit the theme a little better here. Now I'm just gonna go back and blend this out just a tiny, tiny bit. Put a little bit of yellow down there to sort of bring it together. I know it looks like I bring my eyeshadow down really far, and that's because I do. But also because when I put my freaking mascara on, my long lashes, my lower lashes are like really long, so I have to bring my eyeshadow down pretty far if I still want to keep that look that I've got going on, even after I put mascara on. Now this is how you make your eyelids look like the Joker's Christmas tree. I'm just gonna keep doing this to kind of blur that edge. I don't want like a super hard line right here. There we go. Much better. Alright you all, thanks for watching. Hope you liked this tutorial. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber and you want to be, hit the subscribe button on your way out, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace out, guys.